So, you remember Freddy Krueger, right? This pasty old pervert? Yeah, he finally got a bit of a rework to his power, and I'm definitely a little late to this one as per usual, but I'm here, aren't I? First off, if you're watching this before my original Freddy 101, what the fuck is wrong with you? Secondly, this is gonna be a shorter 101 since I already covered Freddy's past, his perks, and his lore in the other video. Seriously, go watch it. Without further ado, here's the updated Freddy. Roll it. Alright, Buster, listen up. Instead of calling this dude Freddy the entire time, I'll be referring to this iteration of him as his rightful title, the Cooler Freddy. So, Bippin, I hear you asking, is the Cooler Freddy better than the old Freddy? Well, my friend. Yeah, I mean, kinda, I guess. Before we begin, let me give you a quick recap on what past Freddy's ability was like in a really dumbed-down explanation. Old Freddy had access to 2 of 3 dream abilities and can put survivors in the dream world. Old Freddy could put survivors in the dream world by basic attacking them or passively by waiting a full minute. Being in the dream world meant that survivors were susceptible to Freddy's main dream power, which I'll get into soon, but also would make the survivors oblivious, replacing his terror radius with a lullaby. When survivors were awake, Freddy was invisible to them past a certain distance, getting more and more visible the closer he got. Survivors can wake up from the dream world by failing skill checks, interacting with an alarm clock that spawns for them, or by having an awake survivor wake them up. Freddy's old power had him choose from one of 2 abilities based on if he took certain add-ons: Dream Snares or Dream Pallets. Dream Snares allowed Freddy to place a maximum of 5 snares on the floor at once, that when an asleep survivor steps over them would slow their movement speed slightly for a few seconds. Dream Pallets, however, would only be visible to asleep survivors and could be placed in pallet spots, exploding into blood when dropped and not stunning Freddy. Lastly, no matter which main dream power Freddy took, he would have access to a teleport that would allow him to appear at any unfinished generator after a few seconds of charging it. That was it. So what about the Cooler Freddy? What can he do? Well, pretty much the same This wasn't necessarily as reworky as I thought they were going to go with this rework, but instead they kind of just gave him a bunch of quality of life improvements as well as added a few new functions to his old power. For starters, I made a comment about having an iridescent add-on last time that would give him both dream powers during the match. They went above and beyond and gave him both dream snares and dream pallets by default. Way to go, behavior. They haven't given the Cooler Freddy any new dream abilities, but have modified the old ones in some interesting ways. So let's start with the least interesting of the additions, the teleport changes. Oh, sorry, I'm just heating something up in the microwave for later, so don't mind me. The Cooler Freddy can still cancel his teleport if he likes, and can now also teleport to survivors who are healing in the dream world. On top of this, with a certain add-on, he can teleport to exit gates. The Cooler Freddy also has the ability to teleport to finished generators, which will be highlighted in a now orange aura. Upon teleporting to a generator or healing survivor, any survivors nearby when he arrives will be temporarily revealed with Killer Instinct, as well as will gain progress on their sleep timer. These are some pretty alright changes to his teleport and make it a bit more oppressive at times. It's satisfying to cut a heal short by teleporting, and it only slightly makes up for Freddy on release. Only slightly, you bastards. Next up are his dream pallets. Now that you have constant access to these, they are more useful than ever, especially because of the new function. They haven't changed for the most part, except for the fact that you can now remotely detonate them. What? When near a placed dream pallet, hold the power button down and select it to cause it to rupture after a few seconds. Survivors caught near this blast will be injured if in the dream world, and if awake, they will just have more progress added onto their sleep timer. The dream pallets are pretty good either way you use them, as looping a survivor around one is pretty much a guaranteed hit anyways. Where you can really get some value out of this is by hitting a healthy survivor with the blast and then slapping them directly after for a cheeky one-shot down. This makes you feel like the Lord himself. Also, you can apparently drop people if you're hit by your own dream pallet. I didn't know this, and I feel betrayed, honestly. A lot of the times you'll be using your new rupture function on the dream palettes to actually zone survivors. Yeah, when it's about to erupt in blood, they'll kind of not run towards that. That's kind of something that you shouldn't do, because it's big and stupid and idiotic. So when you start to rupture it, they'll just kind of run away and run into your arms anyways. Lastly, there are your dream snares. These things are a whole lot better now, as instead of placing them down and trying to get survivors to step on them, they now travel forwards. They can also go through walls, but not ledges. These act as the old ones do, slowing survivors slightly and making them scream. If a survivor is awake, similarly to the dream palettes, hitting this ability on them will just increase their sleep progress. I like this addition for both powers, as it gives the cooler Freddy more ways to put survivors to sleep faster. On top of this, the moving traps make it easier to hit survivors around loops, and they're overall more fun to use. Another thing that I forgot to mention with the snares in my last video is that if a survivor is trying to perform a fast vault while hindered from the snare, they will instead do a medium vault. And that's really it for his updated power. Ooh, that must be the next segment. Beautiful. Just on time as well. I've taken the liberty of heating up a spicy add-on combo for you. This one is called the "Where do you think you're going? I was just about to kill you guys" combo. This consists of using Freddy's iridescent add-on, the Black Box, and the very rare add-on, Class Photo. The Black Box makes it so that after an exit gate has been opened, any asleep survivors will have the exits blocked for them for 15 seconds. This effect lingers for 3 more seconds if they are woken up by any means. On top of this, the Class Photo allows Freddy to teleport to exit gates, as well as notifies him with Killer Instinct whenever a survivor in the dream world is opening an exit gate. Combine this with endgame perks such as Blood Warden, No Way Out, Remember Me, and Terminus or Noed, and you will have a terrifying endgame presence that may get you a few kills. That, or it's just all gonna crumble in front of your very eyes and you're gonna cry. Like I do. A lot. Anyways, that's pretty much it for the cooler Freddy. As you can tell, the cooler Freddy is quite scary. Okay, not that scary. Jonah, not that scary. Jonah! Shut up, Jonah! In my original 101 video, I rated him a 2, but now I'm going to give him a solid 6. It's still not great to be honest, but there's a bit more room for cool plays and slightly better matches with him now. He almost feels like just going from a nothing killer to a regular killer. So yeah, kinda underwhelming, but still this is the best Freddy's gonna get. So anyways, thanks for tuning in. I'll see you in the next one.